Hello everybody, this is Tracey Jones, President of Tremendous Life Books, and it is my great pleasure to be sitting here with Mr. R.J. Harris. For those of you in the central Pennsylvania region, you will know and recognize the voice and probably know the name. R.J. is one of the leading radio personalities in the area, has one of the top rated morning talk shows on WHP 580 out of Harrisburg, and one of the top 5 ranked talk shows right now. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, kind of. Our market share is usually among the top 5 of talk stations in America.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Pretty big.
And the reason RJ is here today is not for his radio skills, but he has just become another occupation, and that is published author. And RJ's book is being released the beginning of 2010, so in a couple days, and what a great way to start your year. His book is called It Ain't Easy Being Fat, But That's Your Problem. And I have read this book. We have worked on this book and been putting this book together since before my father passed away. And it is just such a joy to get this tough love from a recovering foodaholic out and into the hands of everybody that can really use this.
Thank you.
So I very much appreciate it, and I'm so excited. This will be available on TremendousLifeBooks.com. We'll talk a little bit more of that at the end. So I just got back to the area a year ago, moved back. And I knew you from Dad, from the homegoing. I had met you then, but just about a year and 2 months ago. So I have always known this felt R.J. Harris. But about 6 months ago, I was in Applebee's. I think I told you this. And I saw a picture of you, the pre-R.J. Harris.
Right.
And I could not believe the difference. And then the script came, and I really got that you are the living manifestation of your message. So tell me a little bit about what was the point that got you to that decision that for once and for all you were going down the path of getting in shape?
Well, first of all, I made the decision countless numbers of times before in my life, in that I've been fat since 10 or 12, something like that. And it never really stuck. And I think it's that I've been fat for so many years, obese, morbidly obese, that I always wanted to change, and it was either change now or be fat forever, because I was in my 50s, I'm in my 50s, and I didn't have much time to procrastinate any longer. So it was either be fat and be happy with it and deal with it, or lose weight. And the thing that really sent me over the edge, and I talk about it in the book, was I was watching a local television station, and there was a story about some flooding. You know, had I been smart, I would have made note of this, but I didn't realize the impact that it would have long term for me. But it was a story of a grandfather in a creek with his grandchild, holding on to them and holding on to trees, and the grandchild got away from the grandfather and drowned downstream. It was tragic. And I was really moved by that, but more importantly, I realized that I could not save my granddaughters, who were really, 3 and 1 back then, and that I couldn't save my granddaughters, my wife, my children, because I couldn't save me. I had a tough time getting up when I was gardening. I needed a fence, I needed a shovel or something to help me get back up. There was no way I was saving someone else. So it was really the thought of not being able to save my granddaughters' lives that caused me to decide to change forever.
And that was it. There was no more go, because before you had gone, you had tried, and in the book you chronicle a lot of different things you had tried in the past, and you lose some, like so many of us, lose some, gain it back, lose some, and it was just kind of the constant back and forth.
That is the yo-yo diet. It's you take off 60 pounds and you put 80 back on, and for some it's you take off 20 and put on 30. So yeah, that's what happened. Every time I would take weight off, I would eat it back on again, and I loved every second of it. Loved every second. People say, and that's part of what the book is about, I eat when I'm happy, I eat when I'm depressed, I eat to this. I always say I eat the drop of a hat. I don't need an excuse, but it is compulsive eating. It's like an alcoholic drinking or a drug addict, shooting up drugs or whatever.
Right, and you cover that in your book. How much on your weight loss journey from when you made that decision, how much have you lost and how long did it take you?
Well, I've lost all but 200 pounds, and it will be 4 years this coming March that I started it. I've had it off now a year. I weighed the same this past fall, when I had my physical, as I did 1 year ago.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons that I waited to put out the book. I've talked on the radio about this book for ages, but I wanted to make sure that I had a bit of a track record, and I'm still a compulsive overeater. I am. I'd still rather eat everything in sight, and I struggle with this on a daily basis.
Absolutely. So I know what I took away as the basic. You have so many good tools in here for just somebody to use about the psychology of just looking. You know, I like to think, you know, matter can neither be created or destroyed, but the only way to melt it off your body is limit your caloric intake. What comes in must be less than what you're expending. And I love the fact that you talk about fad diets, cosmetic surgery, even exercise. And I think there's been some recent things on exercise, and that you just must take in less than what you're expending to really lose weight. And it's such a great, simple point.
Yeah, exercise. If you look at how many calories you burn working out in an hour, it's really insignificant compared to what we take in. In one biggie-sized meal, you've blown all the exercise that you've done and then some. So, and we kid ourselves by thinking, oh, we're exercising, we'll be okay. It really is caloric intake. Now, I believe exercise is important to your well-being, your mental outlook, and it's done a lot for me. But for the first 100 pounds, I did no exercise.
I remember you saying
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is absolutely fantastic. And just we want to wrap up this podcast so we can get this out and the viewers to see. But for all you folks, this book is finally out. It will be available on www.tremendousLifeBooks.com by R.J. Harris, now our fantastic and tremendous published authors. And again, the book is called It Ain't Easy Being Fat, but That's Your Problem. Please check it out and listen to R.J. on his radio morning show. Thanks so much.
Thank you.